Hey guys, it's Devin, and I kind of owe you a bit of an explanation. So I have taken a bit of a break from YouTube. I think the last video I did was Crisis in a Bookstore, that vlog that I did. And here's what happened after that. Before then, I was doing really well. I was uploading vlogs consistently. I was still doing a book or nerdy related video every Monday. And then I just kind of fell off the wagon. And here is why. Because for some reason, every time I do the biannual Bibliothon, I always think it starts on the Saturday, no matter what. Even though it actually starts on the Sunday. So I said that I was only going to vlog kind of like a wrap up at the end of the day, every day during the biannual Bibliothon, because I thought that editing a vlog every day was going to be a little much and it would cut into my reading time. So I finished my Friday vlog and I thought I was good to go until I screwed up and thought it started on Saturday. I got a good like 4 or 5 hours of reading in, and that is when I realized starts on the Sunday. So I didn't vlog anything that day, but I vlogged some wrap-up stuff on like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Until Wednesday, I really just fell off the reading wagon. I forced myself to read Crown of Midnight in like 2 days. I had other books I had to finish. It just got really kind of crazy and I could feel myself going into a reading slump, and I didn't want to do that. So to save my reading life, I just stopped reading for a little while. I took it easy. I didn't force myself to read during the readathon, and I took some time off from YouTube. I wasn't filming any more wrap-ups during the biannual Bibliothon, and I was not vlogging at all. The other reason I kind of fell off the YouTube wagon is because I got really stressed out editing those vlogs. I was constantly editing. My parents were just like, do it once a week, it'll be fine. I'm like, no, I have to do it every day because I promised I'd do it every day. So I just slumped and I stopped doing it altogether, and I'm not going to do it for the rest of the summer. So I'm just going to be doing weekly videos. So let's just talk about the books that I read since the last time I talked about books that I read. The last time I talked about the books that I read, I did a top 5 wrap up. This isn't quite a top 5, this is a top 4 with like 2 books that I'm currently reading. But the first book that I read, this was before the biannual Bibliothon, and that is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I read this because it's the sequel to Throne of Glass, and I really loved Throne of Glass. I read this kind of coming up to the biannual Bibliothon, but I binged about half this book in like 2 days, which is a lot for me because I'm a slow reader. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I liked it. It just wasn't as good as Throne of Glass. I thought that it was a great way to set up the rest of the series. There is a giant concept introduced in this book that I think will be able to be carried throughout the rest of the series, which is wonderful. I just felt plot-wise it was a little slow. There's a lot of really great character development in this book, specifically from Dorian, Selena, and Kale, but everybody else in between kind of has their own character development, and they go through a really interesting path. Also, look at what I did. I ripped the cover. I am so sorry. This book deserves better than that. I don't even know how to fix it without making it look bad. Would hot glue work, or would that just melt the page because it's a soft cover? I don't know. I am so sorry. I have never been so upset over a book. That's not true. The next book I read was also the last one that I finished before the biannual Bibliothon, and that is 99 Days by Katie Cutugno. This book, I have not made my feelings about this book much of a secret, I don't think, unless I talked about it in a vlog that never got uploaded. But I have so many strong feelings about this book. Quick disclaimer, if you love this book, good for you. You rock on. Awesome. If you had anything to do with this book, congratulations, you made a book. These are my own personal thoughts and feelings about this book and should not in any way discourage you from liking it if you already did. It's just my own personal thoughts and feelings. I just disliked this book so much. I had so many issues with this book. It's no surprise I give it 1 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It had a strong beginning, but the characters in this book make me so angry. I hated all three of the main characters in this book, which I think is the biggest problem. And just when you think Molly's learned something, she's done better, she screws everything up. In the words of Tony Stark, she screwed the pooch. On to a lighter note, after that was the Biannual Bibliothon, and I managed to finish 2 whole books. Oh wow! The first book that I read, I listened to on audiobook, and that is The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and it was totally not what I expected. I love the movie, The Notebook. I'm gonna go out there and say that I know it's like a typical chick flick, and it's romance, and it's sappy, and blah, but like, I like it. Leave it alone. I like this movie. But the book was so unlike the movie. Yes, it followed essentially the same storyline. I just found that Book Alley and Movie Alley, Book Noah and Movie Noah, so different. But I'm not going to spoil this book, but the characters in the movie and the book are very different. I thought that they were going to focus more on the relationship when Allie and Noah were younger versus the repercussions when they were older, but it focused a lot about when they were adults, with just brief mentions of the summer of love that they had when they were teenagers. I think I prefer it in the movie where they showed their entire relationship and went through that journey with them. This one kind of started when Noah was already in his 30s, I think. It's a beautiful writing style. It's very poetic and very romantic, but I found myself kind of zoning in and out with Nicholas Sparks' long-winded descriptions of things. I do appreciate the writing style because it is absolutely exquisite. It just got to be a little much sometimes. The last book that I read for the Biannual Bibliothon is Deadpool Volume 9 Institutionalized by Daniel Way. I gave this graphic novel comic book 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It is the first complete graphic novel that I think I've ever read outside of like Archie comics when I was a kid, although that's not a graphic novel, but you know what I mean. This was great. I love Deadpool anyways. Deadpool, if you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you would know Deadpool is my favorite movie of all time. So of course I was going to pick up Deadpool when they put a comic book shop near my house. So I picked it up and I read it for the Biannual Bibliothon and I loved it. It was funny and interesting and compelling enough to make me want to pick up the next volume, and I think it was a really good introduction to Deadpool as a character in comic books, which is kind of different from Deadpool in the movies. I think this Deadpool is more like, I don't give a crap about anything. It was a little slow to begin, but it picked right up, took a very interesting and a little disturbing turn for me. I want to know what you guys think though. If you have read this particular graphic novel or any of the Marvel superhero comic graphic novel things, comment down below because I want to know if you guys have any recommendations for me or what you thought about it, because I'm definitely going to be picking up more comic books in my future. I think it was a really interesting way to read a book and learn about the characters that I love dearly. So now really quick, I want to talk about the books that I'm currently reading, and the first one is Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. Of course I am reading this because I finished Crown of Midnight, and I am on page 362. And also a little bit of a sad note here. What do you guys think of my bookmark? I made it myself. Can you tell? I'm very proud of it. I don't know why I'm proud of it, but I am. It's gorgeous. It's my Supernatural boys. They don't sell Supernatural bookmarks, so I made my own. Anyways, I'm gonna say about 60% into this book, and I have been loving it. So much better than Crown of Midnight. It's more fast-paced. I like the new characters introduced in this book. There are so many different points of view in this book, and I love each and every one of them. The second book, I don't know why I'm still reading it. Like, I should be done by now, and I probably forget most of the things that are happening in it are the Ultimate Comics of Hawkeye by something Hickman and something Sandoval. We are going to find out their names. The writer was Jonathan Hickman. The penciler was Rafa Sandoval. What's the difference? I mean, there's obviously a difference. I'm just generally and genuinely curious as to what the difference is. Kind of like sound mixing and sound editing at the Oscars. They have 2 separate awards. What's the difference? But yeah, I've had a recent obsession with Hawkeye, Deadpool, and Captain America. Anything Marvel is just very intriguing to me. And again, I picked this up at the same time that I picked up Deadpool. I should probably finish this. Maybe I'll finish that tonight because I only have like less than a quarter left. But yes, I have been enjoying this book very, very much, this graphic novel comic book thing. What's the difference? Again, apples and oranges, man. I've really been enjoying this. I think it's a good intro to Hawkeye. It's not as good of an intro as I would have hoped. It doesn't really show a lot about his character. It's more plot driven. So I'd like to, I know some stuff about Clint Barton, but, you know, having different comic book writers and artists talk about the same character in completely different series, like, it kind of messes with my mind, because in some comics he's deaf, and in other comics he's not. I don't know, man, but I do enjoy this novel. It's pretty good. So yes, that is what I read and am currently reading. Stay tuned for what I am going to be reading. I'm hopefully going to upload that video today. Maybe, maybe not, we'll see. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as usual, and it's gonna feel so good to say this because I haven't said it in a while. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on all of my social media. Links are all in the doobly-doo description thingy down below. Go check it out. And other than that, just stay tuned for my next video. That is all from me and my selfie.